Okay, good morning. This is Louise Kohl, and welcome to a Relive Business Success Training. I am in Paulsbo, Washington, and I thought maybe it's been a while since I've shared my story on training, so I'll go ahead and do that. When I was introduced to Relive, and it's now 16 years ago, I was homeschooling my 3 children and trying to figure out a way to generate a few $100s a month to pay for music lessons. And I didn't know how I was going to do that because I needed to stay home to homeschool. It's a requirement in Washington. So along came Relive literally the next day. And I double checked that because I thought, you know how your brain can remember things. Anyway, I double checked that. It was, in fact, the next day I was introduced to Relive. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with me. And I told the person outright, there's nothing wrong with me. But I started hearing stories of people getting results from things I'd never heard of. And I was intrigued by that. But what really caught my attention was they were making a few $100s while they were getting well. And I thought, well, there's nothing wrong with me. So I need a few $100s. Well, when I saw the compensation plan, I decided to do the most amount of product for the least amount of money, and I came in at the highest profit level. And everybody in my family in the first 30 days got amazing results from chronic headaches, elbow tendonitis, depressed immune system, eczema, and attention issues. But I saw nothing. I saw nothing. Oh, hang on. Am I recording? I can't tell. Did somebody? No,
it says it's recording
I am
in the
recording.
corner.
Yeah, it says I don't have an option to record. It says to stop recording, so I must be recording. Sorry about that. So in that first 30 days, like I said, everybody in my family got great results, but I didn't. And I saw no change. But what was really intriguing and what really caught my attention was I had a check from the company for a return on my investment, and I profited over $400, which was more than what I needed for music lessons. My results actually came 4.5 months later, taking the product consistently and correctly. I had a very serious leg issue where I could not move. I actually couldn't walk, and I had stopped doing any workout 2 years prior to being introduced to Relive, and I even gave up going up and down the stairs of my house. That evening, 4.5 months later, when my husband pointed out I wasn't limping anymore, I couldn't remember what leg was supposed to hurt, and I ran up and down the stairs. I hadn't been up and down for a very long time, and I was thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled. But what was really interesting was actually 8 years after I started the product, I decided maybe I should start running. It wasn't something I'd ever done, ever in my life. I had no interest in it, but I had been challenged to look like the product performs. Basically what I was told was, you have an amazing product, but you don't look like it. So I took up the challenge, and 8 years, it was actually 2 years later, 10 years from the time I started Relive, I ran my first marathon. And I was 10 years older. Who gets better as they get older? But I love this product. My income has grown from that $400 to be over $5,600, $6,000 in a month. And that is really awesome. But what is really terrific is it's because other people are having great results and success financially. Because I love Relive. It gives me the opportunity to offer people positive things in their life, physically or financially. Either way, it's a positive thing, and I continue to do it. And I'm very excited about that. So that's my story. And now I'd like to have you share your story. So who else out there who has some success this week and that share their excitement? I'm very much timed today, so speak up. I know there's some excitement out there.
Hey, Louise, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. I was going to call on you, but I wasn't sure you were on. Go for it.
Well, I have to tell you, I am excited. You know, it's kind of interesting what happens when you really listen to your feelings. About a year ago, I listened to my feelings after 6 months of passing up the thought that I would. And I stopped on a corner and talked to a man that was selling water. And to make a long story short, he got on the Relive products. He had been in a car accident. He was disabled, PTSD. You know, his wife died of cancer. He was raising 3 kids, and thus he was selling water on the corner. So he saw how Relive could help him. He started on the Relive products. And what I didn't know is the next day he had an appointment for an electric wheelchair because he was on a walker and a cane when I talked to him. And so he didn't need that wheelchair because he was able to walk, he was able to stand, and within a week of being on the Relive products, he called me and said, come over and see what I can do. And he could bend and walk, and he was just so excited. So for his birthday party in March, he invited his neighbor, and she brought her husband. Her husband had Alzheimer's and didn't speak through the whole meeting. He was in a lot of hip pain, and what David did, though, is he served everybody Relive shakes and ice cream for his birthday party. The kids got the chocolate kids in their ice cream, and the adults got the now in their ice cream. And, you know, after that, he asked them how they liked their shakes, and they all liked it. And he said, well, I want Luann to tell you about it because this is what it's done for me. Being they had seen the remarkable change in him, his neighbor decided to go in at that 25% level. And she's on a fixed income. She did not question. And so she started on the product. She'd had a swollen leg. Doctors didn't know what was wrong. And she had some other issues, arthritis and so forth. Very diligent, very faithful in taking her shakes. And she got amazing results. And the leg went down and, you know, she was feeling good. Well, she never gave it to her husband. Until 2 weeks ago, the doctors told him that he needed hip surgery. He's 87 years old, and he didn't want the hip surgery. And so she said, you know, will Relive help him? And so she put him on the Relive. And I went over there the other day. They said, come over and see what's happened with Mike. And I went over, and he was beaming from ear to ear. I can't even tell you the expression on his face. And he stood up out of his chair, and he left his cane. He said, a week ago, I couldn't stand here without a cane. I have no pain. My neuropathy is gone. He said, I sleep better, and it's all your fault. And I was just about, I mean, I was almost in tears. And I mean, this man, we had the best conversation. Amazing man. He used to tune pianos in Palm Springs for Liberace and Dean Martin and, you know, older people that, you know, movie stars. And here he is, you know, he's so happy. And we were talking to his wife how to adjust her products a little bit to get better results. And he looked over and he said, now, does she know what you're talking about? And she went, yes, I know. And he said, okay, you be sure to get this. But, you know, that's what happens. That's that ripple effect when somebody sees and, you know, and people get results, and when they're consistent on the products, amazing things happen. And the other thing is, amazing things happen when we listen to our feelings and do what we're feeling we really should do.
Oh my word. Luann, that's amazing. And you know, I was talking, thank you so much for sharing. So exciting. And that's just one of many bits of excitement that have been happening for you. But thank you so much for sharing that. You know, stories, facts tell and stories sell. You know, this is the walking story of David and his neighbor, and this story, how exciting that story is. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Someone else, one more story. Come on.
This is Christina. I'll share.
Thank you.
Of course. So my story is pretty much about my story, the ones that we share with everyone, the ones that we
Christina, we're having a little
what
bit of
Relive.
trouble hearing you. So either keep your, whatever you're doing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's good. Whatever you're doing,
Okay.
stay that way.
So, recently, my upline and I, we went over my story because we're just hitting the ground running here, getting ready for Hawaii, getting ready for Tom, and we just want to build our success. So we revisited our stories, and I think I've narrowed it down to the things that I really love to share about Relive, that it's given me better lungs, something I didn't think was important to me, but now being in the lifestyle I have, it really is. And that, I think, has really shown to people. They just kind of see that I come into work ready for the day, ready for anything. And it's the stories, like you said, the stories sell. So if it's something from the heart, people will listen and be drawn to it. And you never know what their story might be. So I just find that revisiting your story and changing it up a bit, it's always kind of like your business. You never want to be stagnant. You always want to keep moving and do what you can to grow.
Awesome. And may I ask you to tell us your story?
The whole thing?
Well, you've got 1 minute.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody here on the call. My name is Christina Gibbon. I grew up in San Jose, California, and now doing at Disneyland. But growing up, I had the worst pair of lungs. Just the basic activity caused dizziness, and bronchitis came without fail. Now with Relive, breathing isn't a problem. I love running 5K marathons, and I have not gone to the doctor since consistently being on product. I've lost 31 pounds, working out more than the average person, and the best part is sharing all of this with my mom, because without my mom's support, I wouldn't be here today. My dream was to take her on a trip. Within 3 months of starting my Relive business, I took her to Cancun, Mexico, all expenses paid. I love this business, I love its products, and I love our Clogris Foundation because it helps kids have a better quality of life. With that in mind, I will never quit Relive.
Oh, Christina, thank you. Good job. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That is just wonderful. Wonderful. So, okay, let's get started with this. And my next slide is what's coming up in April of 2019. So we've got the new line of products using Lunacin or Lunarich X and CBD. And I have been getting lots of calls. I don't know why, maybe it's because I'm an old hippie, but there's just been a lot of discussion about this. And I thought I would share my excitement about it. And please understand, I am no expert, absolutely not. But I'll tell you who are the experts, and that is Dr. Kohl and Dr. Galvez. And I totally trust them and Relive. Totally, completely. They have an impeccable record. So, but I want to share with you what I found, because education is a really important part of what we do. And we don't need to be experts. We're not experts, and please don't. I'm just going to share with you what I found in my research. One of the things, well, actually, I'll tell you about my passion later. So here are the benefits of CBD. CBD is, in fact, cannabidiol oil. There's a lot of research-backed health benefits. This is not something that you couldn't find yourself. Go on there's lots and lots of stuff on the internet. Go to the research, go to the science. There's lots of stuff on the internet, but I trust the research, scientific findings, and that's basically what I've listed here. Here are just a few of the benefits. Reduced risk of diabetes and obesity, better cholesterol profiles and lowered risk of cardiovascular disease, reduced risk of cancer, helps maintain brain health and create resilience to trauma and degeneration, protects against bone disease and broken bones, protects and heals the skin, anti-inflammatory benefits, anxiety and stress, depression and mood disorders, pain and sleep disorders, insomnia, like insomnia and sleep apnea. Now, think of these because when it's combined with Lunar Rich X. Here are the listings from Relive. The benefits of Lunar Rich X: heart health, cholesterol management, inflammation reduction, antioxidant benefits, improved immunity, overall cellular health, and of course the epigenome, where the DNA packaging material that works as a series of genetic switches, signaling your genome with which genes to turn on and off, combined with the benefits of CBD and sort of repeated: reduced risk of diabetes and obesity, lower cholesterol and cardiovascular risk, reduced risk of cancer, protects bones, protects and heals skin, anti-inflammatory, anxiety and stress, depression and mood disorders, pain and sleep disorders. Oh my goodness. So what happens when you combine the two? Ba-boom! They are so complementary. It is amazing. So we have so much to offer with our products as they exist right now to our customers and to everybody, that to combine it with these additional benefits. Are they different? No, but they are beautifully complementary, and there's just a lot of benefits. I actually know people who have had benefits from CBD oil, and they are really excited about Relive combining the two. And the result then is right here. Whoa! This is for Robert. Like Scrooge McDuck, we could swim in cash. It's just, maybe you don't want cash. I want cash because I want to support the Relive Coagus Foundation. I have a couple of other things that I want to give more to, and I need more money to give more. And so this is Relive's plan. We're going to go into Relive, the training now. So how do you succeed with Relive? There's a circle of success. It's all about new people. There is an element of trust that I think Relive has earned. In all my years with Relive, it has earned absolute trust from me. But when we're talking to new people, we're just talking to them about options that we can offer them, options that maybe they haven't heard. So we have a Relive business cycle. We've got daily activity and corporate support, but our resource, our absolute resource, the fuel for our business, is with new people. And the circle of success is right here. First, we identify, connect, share the story, ask for a decision, and register and go. Follow-up is huge. It solidifies those 5 steps that were not easy to do, but why not solidify them, having put forth the effort? So the action is now, and these are the daily fundamentals. We'll go into each topic, and it's not necessarily new to everyone, but it's always good to review. So we identify people who are standing on the roads selling water, identify people who have been whining. You hear about them whining about their situation. Just identify people with, I actually don't make separate lists. I just identify people and put down why I thought of them, and along with their phone number, who I'm going to connect them to. So every day I'm looking at the list and who are the first five to connect, and who am I going to connect to today. So always have new people there's always new people to talk to, always. Family, friends, work, church, school, social media. I am not so great on social media. I'm having to unblock a prejudice I have about it, but that's me. There are all sorts of ways to add to their list every day. Every day. One of the things that I really miss is when my children left home. I realized I had to go out and find my own people because they kept bringing people in, which was awesome. But there are all sorts of ways. And then you connect with the people. And, what do you say? I'll tell you what, it's when you tell them why you thought of them or that you thought of them, it's amazing. People love to be thought of. And then find out what do they want more of, what do they want less of. And just listening to them, letting them talk, asking questions. I love the questions that that Barb talked about last week. She talked about it in terms of talking to our distributors, but I've actually used those questions to talk to some new people this week, and it's been profound. Starting with the first one, and I didn't even get to all of them, was what is on your mind? And then asking, how can I help? Those are the two questions, and I had a plethora of information, and they were telling me what they wanted me to do. I didn't have to tell them what I was going to do for them, which was awesome. So always let people know why you thought of them, and then set the appointment. Here are a number of opening sentences that they're just a guideline. The best one is, how are you? And we use tools and stories to validate. And like I said earlier, and Christina reiterated, is stories sell. The sharing your story, sharing why and your belief in your heart is more important than sharing the Relive story, because that's the draw. Your excitement is the draw. But sharing the whole Relive story is important when you're with them. You don't need to go into the patents and the this and the that and the whole thing. It's your excitement. It's your excitement. There are the opportunity book, the slides, the videos. I actually was challenged by someone who when I had said, I always get this question, is this a pyramid? And I just, yes, I have a comeback, but I really would like to avoid that question. And he was very frank with me. He said, if you don't want the question, is it a pyramid? Don't show a pyramid. Don't show the triangle. So what I did was I've been putting people like this follow-up. I've been putting people in the middle of a circle, and then as they tell me who they would who they thought of, I'm putting things around that circle, and I haven't once had, is this a pyramid? Not once. Just something. Maybe you guys don't have that that issue. But I also always have a story ready, and you introduce them to your upline, and I have other stories ready because stories sell. So in sharing the story, help new people engage themselves and who they know with Relive meetings and events. We don't have regular Relive meetings in this area, but in homes and meeting up with people and groups of people. Webinars. These webinars are awesome. The conference calls are amazing. The international conference call right now, the international call on Thursdays at 1 o'clock Pacific time has been amazing to me because it was amazing to me because I've always liked the fact that Relive is international, but now I have someone who's interested, who lives in Ireland, who now is on that call and getting lots of great stories. There's your upline, and there's other distributors. Lifestyle Magazine's pretty awesome. I always have one with me, and people love looking over it, and then I can email it to them. How hecky is that? And the Relive blog has great information. And then, it's not on here, but that app, the Relive app, if you don't have it, get it. It is amazing. It is really amazing. Just quickly sending things to people. People love it. They love it. I've had very, very good response with that. But you don't have to know it all. It's just Relive has a built-in system to educate and validate. So you ask for a decision. Again, my question is not how would you like to get started, but what's been really beneficial for me is saying, how can I help? Because up to this point, they've been telling me all the things that they need. And having products on hand is very beneficial. I don't usually have a super pack. I usually have, I have a couple individual products, and then they order, and then they pay me back product for product. But that's my style. And nor do I carry any paper order because I've got the app. It's great. It's really great. The online application or the app really, and it is huge. People signing up on that is just great. So in asking for a decision, someone asked me what was the benefit of having a super PAC when they could get it individually, and I just said, well, I'll tell you what. I started at the highest profit level. I had lots and lots of product. It took me 4.5 months before I had got my results, and I would have been the world's worst customer because I did not even see a change in 30 days. But because I had product, I kept taking it, and am I ever so grateful that I did. This allows you to continue without a break so that you can make sure that you get great results. Boom, done. And you have a supply for 4 months, but in the first 2 months, you could be sharing with somebody else. It is an amazing opportunity. So who do you know can benefit from Relive products? By the time you get to this point, there is already a list of probably about 5 people that person has mentioned. And then, of course, where do you want to get started? And that pretty much defines itself. One of the things that has been extremely beneficial for me is when people say, I'd like to start as a customer, that's great. Anywhere you start is great, but I'm not going to leave them as a retail customer. I'm going to let them know what the benefits are if they become a preferred customer and get on auto ship. And believe me, everybody likes that 20%. Everybody does. And it doesn't hurt that that's points towards Hawaii. So, so in my mind, it's always about people offering people the savings, but I'm just offering it. They don't have to take it. They don't have to take it. And I don't know how many times I say that. I say it's completely up to you. Either way, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be great. Congratulations. Who else do you know? You know, so register and go. This is at that point, it's their decision. Well, I want to start here. Can I move up? I followed up with a 25%er on Thursday, and she was just talking about, well, okay, explain to me again, and we went over the compensation plan again, and she's looking at master affiliate because she would like to get her product for free, and she has no problem sharing with people. She's an entrepreneur herself. She has her own business, and she and her family get great results. Okay, let's do it. So that's part of that follow-up. I'm in touch with people. I make sure when they take their first shake, I'm with them, so I know how they react to it, because I'm one of those who I still don't like the taste of it, but I love what it does, so I take it.
Morning.
Good morning, every day. So, and then it's about being consistent. Something that really opened my eyes, I had started individual on product because she was having heart issues, and she had said that she was being really consistent, but I hooked her up with Louise Piccarelli, and they talked heart, and my friend Willie told me ever since she's talked to Louise, she hasn't missed a shake, and she takes it 2-3 times a day. She was saying, well, periodically I take it once a day, maybe I get 2 in, but ever since her being introduced to Louise and hearing Louise's story, she's been extremely consistent. Again, stories sell. It just was a great reminder for me. And, 10 days, I tend not to ask what results are you seeing so far, because it took me 4.5 months. And it was really, I was glad that nobody asked me, because that, to me, that would have been a discouraging thing. So I asked, how's it going so far? How are you doing? But again, that's just me. But who do you know who could benefit from these products or this business opportunity? And unless you show people the business opportunity, no matter what their desire is, they're not going to know how to answer that question. And I this week had a conversation, or had an appointment with a gal who, right from the beginning, was only interested in the product. But I let her know, and this is, thank you, Koila, I let her know I was going to go through the whole Relive story with her, including the business opportunity, because when she referred people to me, then she would know what they would see. And at the end of it, she and her husband have their own business, and she said, you know what, this would be great for retirement. Ba-boom. Yeah, she said it, I didn't. And my last question to her was, how can I help you? And then we went on from there. So these are only a guideline. This is, common sense. Set distributors up to succeed. Yep, help them build the list, and start introducing them to people, to other stories, to people that they can put in their informational arsenal, so that they can help other people too. And definitely setting up that first appointment is really exciting. reviewing the basics of running a Relive business, ordering, registering. I tend to do this over a period of time, not all at once, because it can be really overwhelming. The first thing I do with them, though, is once they are registered, I make sure that they have signed up for the app, or the bundle of the website and the app, or at least the app. And nobody bulks at the $4, the $4 a month fee. It's important that they know there's so much that Relive offers. It's really overwhelming to do it all at once. But keeping in touch bit by bit, introducing stories, and then another bit of the business, and introducing stories, and helping them learn the compensation plan is amazing. And reviewing the Relive system, using the tools. The tools are great. My favorite is not on here. It's the What's Your Time Worth. And a lot of these, because of the app, here you go. And a lot of times you can, all of these can be emailed, which is amazing. So utilize the tools. We have a plethora of things, a plethora. Some people use other things that are their favorites, but just utilize what Relive has to offer. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's right here. And so I changed this up a bit. Doesn't look as good as it used to, but there's this track, and I actually have joined a gym that has an inside track, so that I have no excuse for not getting out and working out, even when the weather's bad. So, but the inside track is, we have 2 things coming up, and I decided that the top of this track was January, so so going around clockwise, Concord is the next thing in April, and then halfway through is June, and then Chicago's in October. So so daily activities, presentations, in-homes, meetings, upline, 3-way calls, trainings, webinars, daily activities. We may not have webinars daily, but there are calls daily that you can put somebody on. And then corporately, there's corporate support, lots of corporate support. In both instances, it's all about having new people. So you want to engage your team. Definitely develop a library of stories. There are some that have such a beautiful library of stories you put out in the network to find out who has a story about what. And some of the stories are old stories, but they're recorded, and they still impact. Some of them are fresh new stories, but all of them, there are so many distributors, and everybody helps each other. We all have things to share. It's really, really wonderful. You build, to build up the different levels in this company, definitely building relationships with each other, building a relationship with your new person, the fact that they care, and being consistent, because there are people that have experienced signing up and never hearing from anybody again. And that just, to me, it puts a bad taste in my mouth, because I don't want anything to put a negative spin on Relive at all. Not at all. Set your goals. Goals are important. Goals are important with dates. Otherwise, they're just dreams. They're just wishes, actually. Set your goals. They don't have to be huge. They just, a success every day builds you up, to build your confidence, gives you a platform of success, and recognizing those successes and repeating them to yourself. Not what you didn't do, but what you did do. Not what you can't do, but what you can do. Help yourself so that you can help others. You stretch your thinking, you can help them stretch their thinking. You know, what will it take to make key director in X amount of months? And replace that X with a number. 3 months, 6 months, whatever, and get with your upline and do some mapping out that plan. And who is going to be the next key director in your organization? Not who you choose, who wants to. Let people know that you're available to them, to work with them, and that it's a hands-on, that they're not out there by themselves, that you're working with them, hands-on, and you have a team with you. Your upline, other distributors, you have a team to work with them and help them. So it's yes, it's duplicate, but you have to hone the skills. Duplicating doesn't just happen. You need to learn the skills, and that's what we learn on Saturday trainings. That's why we go over this over and over again. Identify, connect, share the story, ask for a decision, register and go, and follow up. Follow up. Who's next? Who's next to receive this amazing gift? So upcoming events, I know that in February, I think it's February 3rd, 23rd, I'm 27th, something. Linda Vance and Nick Priest are doing an event in Dublin, California. And Twyla, could you come on? Because I know you're going to go all over the place. So could you come on and tell us what you're up to?
Okay. The last Friday, Saturday in April, I'll be down in the Salinas, Monterey area with Barb and Yvette and the crew down there. And then I was looking at the calendar last night. I am going to be in Utah in June. It could be the 21st and 22nd, that evening on the 21st and the 22nd. They don't know that yet. I was just looking at my calendar. And then I needed to plan another trip into Anaheim and then also another trip down into the Bay. So it's, it'll be fun. Just trying to get my calendar ready because it's already filled. It's kind of crazy. But,
well, awesome. Now, Twyla, if I could please ask you to, when you have those dates set, publish them so that we can promote it.
Yes, and the dates are for sure for the one in Anaheim, or not Anaheim, but Monterey, Salinas, and Barb and Yvette would be the contacts for that. So it's mainly it's a Saturday. I have to go look at my calendar again. I forget what time I'm getting in, but I think it's mainly a Saturday event. We'll be busy all day, and so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. What a great group that there is down there too. Awesome.
Yeah.
And now we're in March. Lairds, could you come on and tell us about your exciting event in March?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Yeah, we have Tom Pennick coming March 8th and 9th. 9th. I don't know what that word is, but anyway, 9th. Friday night they're both at our home in Garden Grove. You can message us for details. Friday night is a big Hawaiian luau themed event, and Saturday morning is training with the best of the best, Tom Pennick.
Awesome. That is terrific. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. So anybody interested in that message, Robert or Lauren, and you'll get the details. And then in April, we have our live event in Concord, California, where all of the wonderful things will be revealed, and very excited about it. So that's the end of my presentation for this morning. Everyone have a great week and be excited. Share that excitement. Love you all.
Thanks, thanks, Louise. Good job.
Thank you.
Great
Everyone-
training, Louise. Don't forget to stop the recording, okay?
I did. I just did.
Okay, good. Wait, you did a great. You always do such a great training. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Thank you, Louise.
Thanks.